It sounds real good, like real good. I want to talk about dirty things. So here we are. Where did we leave off? I forgot. We left off. We were talking about Paragon,
Right.
and you were where? You were in California.
Well,
And no. You were here in Baltimore, Angels Rock Bar,
Right.
and yeah,
We just got done our first
and you
show.
had a moment. Yeah.
Right.
That was the first show ever.
Right. That was the first show
Like
ever
big.
that we did. And trust me, I went all out on that.
Was that before the picture or after the picture? And maybe we can get the picture on here somehow.
Oh, no. I have it with my phone.
Oh, yeah. But that,
yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
That was after this.
That's
moment.
called the second coming.
Oh, so
Okay.
this is the first coming.
Right.
Coming with an O. The first coming of Paragon. Now we're talking about the rock just here local in Baltimore then.
Right.
Yeah.
So after that, it started to take off like wildfire. Like regional Paragon was the shit.
Right.
You
the
know what I'm
clothes,
saying? Like
the girls wanted
everyone
their
loved
clothes.
it,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
And I had guy shirts too. And I mean, guys really liked it. And I tell you, Mickey Coachella, he was on 98 Rock.
Right.
Great comedian. And he's funny as hell. Oh my God, he is so funny.
Right.
But he had a show on in Baltimore that went on like I apologize.
No,
it's either like channel 45 or 13, channel 13,
Right, the
WJZ.
Baltimore- yeah.
One of those. And I apologize. But he had this talk show and he invited us on the show.
Right.
The Paragon girls. And of course, they take center stage. And I met this guy, John Allen.
Right.
And this is where it really takes off.
Right.
So John Allen is an amazing drummer, musician. He was in the 80s band Child's Play.
Right. Okay. They've been like around here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They
I
would
remember.
do hammer jacks,
Right.
and they were like right there
Jacks
with
is the
kicks.
spot. Yeah.
You know, they would play with kicks all the time. You know, Child's Play was amazing. Then he became, then he played, and I apologize because I don't know, but he was in SR-71.
Right. I remember. Like SR-71. No way.
Yeah. And he was the drummer.
Right. That's so cool.
And then this maybe you might know him, but Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
Yeah. I've heard of it like twice. I heard of that guy twice.
He named Charm City Devils.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they signed with his label. And if I have it wrong, I apologize, but that's what I recall.
The gist of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about.
And that's where it started.
Right.
And then John and I became we became friends.
Yeah.
You
Are
know?
you still friends to this day? Somebody you communicate?
Absolutely.
That's
I just
cool.
saw him yesterday.
Right. See, that's cool. That's what's cool.
And we were on the show, and he's like, yeah, maybe we need to work together. And so he was so kind, and he would let me, like, I would work his merch stand. And
Right,
he
right.
would wear my shirt on stage. Like, I have this shirt called Model of Excellence.
Right.
It's the P that you have on your shirt.
Right. Yeah. This thing.
Yeah.
For
And
the camera.
he would wear that. He would wear my skull and crossbones shirt.
Right.
He would wear everything. And then the great thing is, like, I'm like, dude, let me, do you mind if I maybe put some cages and put some girls in the cages and stuff?
Right.
And he's like, yeah.
Hold on a second. So, like, in this, there could be an opportunity where I could meet the right person. Not you anymore. Maybe if I met you 10, 15 years ago. But someone may say, Noodles, what if I brought cages and put them behind you? Right? That could happen. Like, this podcast is growing. Go ahead. Sorry, I had
And by the way,
sidebar.
for the record, my cousin Billy and I, we welded these 4.
Oh, so you helped build the cages.
I still have the cages at my mom's house.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
they are they available for rent?
They're in her garage.
Right.
They're called the Saint and Sinners cage.
Ooh, well, yeah, there's some.
They're 4 foot by 7 foot, and
Most of my people can get in one I know of at least.
Right.
Maybe not both, but yeah.
So
Great. Both.
So with the cages here, it was just so amazing
Mm-hmm.
because we did a show at the Rams Head Live.
Yep.
And we put cages on both sides of it. And
Another place I paid to get in, but go ahead.
right. And I'm telling you, and we did a show and I brought aerial dancers in and John would be singing with the band and stuff. And, and like I would work his merch stand and, John was so nice. He always let me
Put your stuff on the table with it.
Put the stuff on the table with it. And then I would sell my shirts there too. And that kind of kept me going for a while, and
I can see how it would work though. Just traveling with my limited experience, we spent some time and had a dude that worked with a band versus the Earth for a while, and they're smaller and stuff, but did that whole merch thing, and I just saw where the merch was, where it was at. Like if you like, and my thing is just like, especially now at my age, but you can't even count that. But 10 years ago, like I was into buying T-shirts. Like if it was a cool T-shirt at a show, I'd make sure instead of buying that extra beer, I'd save some money to get a good T-shirt. Especially if it had a location or if it was a tour shirt. So that's always been a thing. That's something that's coming back too. Is like these. If you go into like the retail stores, like I think even Old Navy and them, even like they have old. Rock and roll, like all the old bands, T-shirts, even Walmart, you can go get a Nirvana T-shirt at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of stuff, that's gone away. I think, I don't know we have the bands anymore that could sustain T-shirts like they do, like we did back in, like when you're talking about Nikki Sixx and those kinds of people. There was band after band after, but you could spend your summer going to concerts, to hair band concerts, like just get it in and rock hands all summer long. But it's I don't see that happening these days, and that's a shame. But I don't know what they've replaced it with.
And a lot of bands, that's where they make their money is merch, because it's crazy now that the whole music scene has changed so much,
and they gotta fit in. Like the talent, what makes music hasn't changed to me. Like the talent it takes. Like I play the ukulele and I've played for 3 years now, and I see myself getting better. I see music coming out of me, whereas 3 years ago there was nothing but noise coming out of me. But I'm still not good. But then that also made me take a realization that, hey, these guys that are playing music, the music I listen to now and music I listen to in the past, they really had a talent.
Right.
And the ones that have a talent sustain, regardless of technology, regardless of who's talking about them, whether it be the news or a magazine.
Right.
The media is going to be the media, but the actual art, the talent or whatever, music is never going away. Music has been, thousands of years. Music is what's connected people. You know what I mean? Guess what? Lucky for you, we've had to clothe people in those thousands of years. So music has stayed the same, but now people get clothes. You make clothes, and now you make cool. But that's where we're at with that. But it touches so many things, and what you've done is important in a sense that I to this day, I see people on the internet just with great ideas. And some passion, but never take this. You took the step. You went and suffered. You sat there at a merch table with your product next to somebody else's.
Right.
Not somebody else's product next to yours. Your product was clearly next to somebody else, and you made it happen. And I think there's a huge thing in that can't be taught. Your work ethic is what got you through that. Your ability to just not deal with the, know that the BS is coming and you're going to be in it and swim in it in a while, but make the best of the BS. That gets back to what you said earlier. Always have fun. You had fun in those times.
Oh my God, yeah.
You had fun when your wallet was empty.
Yeah, very much so, and quite a bit.
Right. Yeah, right. So that's important. Like my kids need to know that. Our kids, your son needs to know that, although he has the nicest things, that anything that he could be provided by you and your mom, his mom and whatnot. The reality of it is what you've really given your kid is the ability to know what happiness really is. That, he probably has had some not so happy moments in his life. He's 21 now, and he's had all the things that other people think make him happy, but yet he had unhappy moments. So how do we get to that? he's learned a lesson. You know what I mean? I think I'll teach my kids that lessons. The stuff where I didn't have all the same soccer shoes as everybody else and those things.
Right.
When I did get them, it didn't make me a better soccer player.
Right.
And all that stuff.
Umbros, right?
Yeah, Umbros. Yeah, you can't even wear. They got that at Target now. You'd be like, you'd get laughed off the soccer field if you wore Umbros. You know, I made sure I had the right shadow boxes. Some people remember the little shadow boxes on it. That was something we had to have.
I remember, like, for some reason, like, I would always like tear my quads when we played soccer, and I would always wrap myself up.
Yeah.
So I would be like
the scarecrow. Darren was like a scarecrow. When we played soccer, he would always have the right wraps. And I remember Del Martin, you know what I mean?
Right.
The coach, you know what I mean? That poor guy. I don't know. And with all due respect, I hope he's still with us. But last I heard, he was moved to a home in Williamsport. I didn't get to visit him. But I know Dirk has now taken over his pottery. I don't know if you guys have been out there or anything, but he's doing that.
I haven't
right
yet, but yeah.
So you know, it's like it's coming back. But yeah, that's something that reminded me of that.
So with all of this here, you know, with John, and like I always tell John, I always like owe him big because, you know, of like him saying, hey, come on here, and you know, and him rocking our shirts, and you know, people saying, oh, I like that shirt that he's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's mine. I did a shirt called 7 Deadly Sins.
Right.
And you thought that like every time I come into a house or something, I would just like
yeah, poof. Yeah, it's like magic. Yeah,
because it's like, oh, that's like devil shit,
and it's not. It really, it's part of this. Like it's what it needed to be at the time. You know, now it doesn't.
Yeah.
Now everybody's onto Super Mario lettering and graffiti and stuff.
Right.
If it was your time, that's probably what your shirts would have.
And I
looked
tell
like,
you, like, you speak of graffiti and stuff, and I noticed that a lot of California t-shirt companies and stuff, they're more graffiti,
right?
And I'm more just kind of straight.
I think there's this. I call it like classic. It has a classic appeal to it, like the fonts you use or whatever you call it, but the lettering is not the normal. Like it's different.
I tried a graffiti. I did a gangsta.
Yeah,
gangsta instead of
Yeah,
like
you gotta be careful with your ers and ahs, man.
Yeah.
Like no BS, like touchy subject. We almost had to pull out the red flag. That's what we need. Look, when we hit a subject that we wish of, boom, red flag. Yeah. But anyway, we handled that well.
Red flag.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I did a gangsta shirt,
sort of like the old like squirrely something like Vato type thing. Like
I did, and I
East
put
LA.
East LA.
Mm-hmm.
I put like bullet holes like
in it,
like gunshots and stuff. And I tell you,
because you grew up in all that in Boonesboro.
Or hey, I grew up in the mean streets of Keedysville.
Yeah, down there by the river.
I am
where the Cramps live. That little there was a black water moccasin shoe.
North Main Street.
There was graffiti on the mail, the post office one time.
Right.
But anyways, go ahead.
So I hear Molly over there.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, and the thing that I like is like I need some big star.
Yeah.
To help me rep my
Paragon.
Paragon.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
dude, and we think that everybody thinks that, but go tell your story.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like looking on MySpace at the time.
Yeah.
I still refer to MySpace on the daily.
Right.
But yeah, it's big stuff. Go ahead.
Hey, I tell you, I had this rapper, his name was Truly Plex, and they made a song of the Paragon Girls, a model of excellence.
Yeah.
And he did a song for me, and there is a
Is it somewhere we can go find it out there on the internet?
oh yeah, it's out there.
Say it again.
It's called America's Best Built Machines.
Okay, yeah.
And it's about the Paragon Girls. Truly Plex did this, and we got our help with we sampled a little bit of Lennon Murphy's music.
Yeah.
And she's great. She's in Florida, and I actually got her to do a show in Phoenix for me.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Love that place.
And it was amazing. It was a good time. Trust me. No one really came to the show, but it was great.
Right.
So I figured out that I saw that Shyla Stiles, a porn star.
Right.
God rest her soul, she passed away
Right.
a couple years ago.
Okay.
Due to an addiction or something.
Right.
So but I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, I want you to rock my shirts here." And so she was, and why do I feel like I'm always in strip clubs?
Right.
You know, because here it comes. So,
like, and I'm still at 47 years old trying to find my way to get closer. Like, how do I get in that situation? Because I've tried many years, but go ahead.
So we went to the Larry Flint's Hustler Club.
Yeah.
It was the Hustler Club. And I went with some of my rock guys that friends.
Right.
And so we saw Shyla there, and she was dancing and everything. And
you watched?
She just, yeah.
Did you watch?
I watched. She gravitated towards us.
Right.
And
because you look like a bunch of damn rock stars.
Well, I was with rock stars.
Okay.
But she gravitated towards us. And then after her set, I went over and talked to her. And I said, "Hey, I want you to be a part of Paragon."
Right.
And she said, "Absolutely. Don't call me Shyla. Call me Amanda. That's a real name." And so
that's when you know you're on a level, whether it be like, hey. No. Many Bubbles and Mercedes and Lexuses, I knew their real names. Just saying. Right. I'm on that level. Go ahead.
But so I had her we did a show out in California, San Diego.
Right.
And I had one of my Paragon girls, Amber, go out with me and to do a show out in California. And do an appearance, and I got Maria from the Rock of Love. You remember that with Bret Michaels?
Yeah. How funny is that? Do you know who my girl is? I have a friend that this is someone I got to talk to now. The girl that won it, that did their video with Versus the Earth. What's her name? Oh Lord, she's a friend on Facebook. The girl that won the Rock. Oh, no. She came in second because she told him no.
Daisy?
No. What is her name? She's down in Florida now. Oh my God.
Mindy Hall.
Yeah. Rocket. She's like a friend on Facebook. I still talk to her when she does a lot of work with rescue animals and stuff.
She came up to Baltimore and she was there. She has a couple of my shirts.
Yeah,
She's
me and
awesome.
her got a saying. You know what I mean? Look, and I told her her age, we're the same age. She's 47, and she's not busted.
Right.
She's not. She's a good-looking woman. But I think
she has a twin sister. You know that, right?
Yeah, and she's not busted either. No. Neither one are busted. Her parents did well with her. Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that. That's funny. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I got her to do an appearance, and I got Shyla to do an appearance.
Right.
And this is, and I was like, all right, well, Shyla, I'm gonna fly you in from Los Angeles, and she goes, no, I'll drive.
Right.
And I was like, she said she'll find her way down because she didn't really. She's not all out for money and stuff.
Right.
And so she rolls up in this Bentley with 20-inch rims on it.
Oh yeah.
And
she had a friend that let her roll in it.
I mean, oh my God, that car was amazing.
Right. And you're like, what? You're trying to be cool, but you want to go look at the car.
Hell yeah. But she was so sweet. And so we did our show, and I used the same promotion guy or whatever you call it, the agent? promoter.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to
get
it out there and get people get asses in the venue.
Seats, yeah.
And it sucked. It was I spent all this money to have her come down. And then so the owner of the club said, hey, go over to my Spanish club.
And tell them to come on.
And so we went over there, and I took Shyla. And Shyla and Maria were, they were at each other. And it was like a TMZ moment.
Oh, really?
Shyla said, get out of the car. And they were getting ready to fight and stuff. But yeah, Shyla, boy, she was with me
Right.
like all the time. And then she had a friend, Little Bits.
Right.
So
That's a cool name.
yeah. So
I call everybody that.
yeah, she's amazing. Her name is Tia Cyrus.
Right.
And she's both of them were great. I mean, everybody was so awesome.
Right.
And but
You can't fake real.
right.
Right? And real is real, and you can't fake it.
The promoter was bad though. I never used the promoter ever again.
Right. Well,
because
he didn't do his job.
right. And then so I thought I learned my lesson, but he said, "Hey, dude, I can come back to Arizona.
Right.
We'll get you someone in Arizona." And so I brought other people out to
You
Arizona.
got hyped again.
Didn't work again. I mean, now I'm $30,000.
Right, in the hole. Not $30,000
Right.
just out there and you got some fun. No, that's the negative. That doesn't count the positives you made. Yeah, yeah.
So, and that's kind of like, and then, so now
Right.
we come back to the regional area where
Right.
I'm pretty big now.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, like Paragon, people know who we are and stuff. And of course, the Paragon girls.
Right. Do
So-
we still have them or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah, we you know,
right.
yeah.
They're on the shelf right now.
Yeah, well, they have to be.
But
yeah. That's something to talk about.
so I went on 98 Rock.
Right.
And I talked about this second coming.
Right.
Here. And
This is my part.
I tell you what, this we did this photo shoot because I'm like, I need something. I need a photo shoot or I need a good marketing tool. So who's all right? So Paragon,
Keeping my
a
mouth
model
shut.
of excellence
Mhm.
or perfection. There's only one perfect person to ever walk this earth.
He ain't walking him. He's up there, right? He's
Well,
on high.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I decided, let's do the Last Supper picture. So
Everybody's got to eat.
Right.
Everybody's got to eat.
so I got all of my girls.
That table. This picture makes me hungry. But
I
go
got
ahead.
I got all of my girls, and I did a whole photo shoot of all the girls, and this is my second batch of Paragon girls.
Yeah, second
because
go
the
at it.
first ones, I mean, the first ones were great, and I kept some of the first ones, but the other ones were kind of getting a little
And they had to do what they had to
older,
do.
yeah.
They weren't
And they
into that
were
mood.
they were starting families.
Can we call
and
it in
stuff
the
like
mood?
that.
We don't call it anything. They weren't in the mood anymore.
Right. Well, yeah. Let's
They may not have
let's say
been.
that.
They were just not in the mood.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Second batch.
right. And so we did this show. We called it The Second Coming.
Right.
So, and we packed Angel's Rock Bar, which was amazing
Yeah.
here.
And they probably appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did it again for free.
Right.
So everything I do, it seems like it's for free.
Well, it seems like when it works out right or it moves you, it's probably for free.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we all pay a little bit to just walk the earth, but yeah,
Right.
I see what you're saying. You did
Yeah.
it for free.
So, and I mean, it worked out great.
Yeah.
I sold some shirts.
Right.
Really good shirts here.
Right.
And you know, and then to fast forward, that's like 2010, I think
Right.
it was.
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
And
And that's when I started coming back around, because I was still in the hospital per se, but I was retiring from the army. I wasn't in the army. I was in the army, but I wasn't armying anymore. I had dreadlocks and craziness. So yeah. We were not at that time, exact time, but I was well on my way. So anyways, yeah, so we were 2010 and you were at the Second Coming.
right.
So that's about the time I started motorcycling and stuff. So I'm putting our time periods
Right.
together. You're back to rock star. This is when I seen you with the spikes.
The
Coolest hair ever. The coolest, like something I wish I could, like, I call them Aquanet spikes because they're real big spikes. You didn't, yeah, spiked hair was an 80s thing, but this wasn't spiked hair.
Right.
You had spikes. Yeah.
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 I thought they looked pretty cool.
They were super cool.
Yeah.
Beyond cool. Yeah. Like, yeah, they were super cool. Yeah.
Right.
But go ahead. So that we're there.
So yeah, then I did that, and I just did the Paragon shirts for many years,
Right.
You know, and so then we bought a house,
Right.
and I think that's where you want to talk about the Lead Don't Follow Foundation.
Yeah, well, now that we're here,
Right.
I think we're now we've correct, like, and I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do this thing, especially with old friends, is to timeline it, because I'm
Right.
big on jumping around. So we've gone through this. Darren, my friend, has gone to California. I went to the Army. Like, I try to see. My big thing about this is, what do we, how to, you got to correlate things. So when I'm in the Army, I got to think, well, my people are doing other things. And so now I'm
Right.
closing in what Darren was doing. And it's so cool and so awesome. So you went there and you came back, and now I'm in the same boat. Sort of like we're both semi-retired, I would say. But we got to work. We got to do something to make money. I have money coming in, but we're not.
I feel like I work 24/7.
Right, yeah, but you know what I mean?
Especially
But
now.
Yeah. So, but you're doing cool things. So now you're here. You've bought a house back home.
Right.
And this house is a story in itself. That might even be a separate issue. But you're home now, and you have a foundation now.
Right.
And a foundation that I will introduce on my podcast is Lead Don't Follow. And for all my military, like when I talk to you in first, like leadership goes in this, it's so many things, many things. And one thing I think, we have some witness here too, can even test it. That's not something taught in school.
Right.
There should be a class on leadership. How do you deal with people and stuff? And that's where I learned mine, thank God, from the Army. And when I say, oh man, the Army, this or that, well, they've been doing the Army for 300 years. And even the bad stuff that they do it good. You know what I mean? So I learned it through that. But I also know that, I have friends that went off to prison for 15 years.
Yeah.
They learned leadership in there. Maybe not in a sense of they were doing the right thing, but the person that was leading there in that situation was a leader. You know what I mean? So where do you pull these values from? So Lead Don't Follow is your foundation.
Right.
But to me, it's important. Leadership is so key. And I think your type of leadership, what you're thinking about doing, what this foundation does is huge right here at home. Huge right here in Boonesboro, Maryland, as it is in LA, California, I think.
Right.
And you've been to both places.
Yeah.
It's real easy to talk about it and say, okay, well, what I'm doing here can help here. And it can also help overseas.
It's
unless
bad.
You've been there, you can't tell. So let's talk about Lead Don't Follow. Let's what is it and where did it stem from? Like,
all right.
What drove you to it?
So a friend from high school reached out to me and on Facebook here. And she said, hey, I lost my son due to heroin overdose.
Right.
And she asked me to do a shirt that said like "fuck heroin." Sorry, beep, flag it.
No, say it. Fuck heroin.
Yeah.
I would like to repeat it.
And
fuck heroin. Whatever. Fuck is a negative thing.
Right.
Negatively affect heroin as much as possible.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, and I told her, I said, well, I don't do curse words on my shirt here. But I'll come up with something to do this. And so the big thing here, I'm a parent first and foremost. My biggest goal in life is to be a great dad. And I think I've accomplished
You're doing that. I can tell. Yeah,
right.
You're doing real well at it.
And, and when she came to me and told me this, I knew that I needed to do something and help her.
Right.
Because my heart broke for her and one of my friends I grew up with, she's married to him. And, as I'm learning all this, during the same time that he passed away, 2 other boys in Boonesboro,
small town that we grew up in,
passed away too.
Yeah, from the same
thing.
Like
within a day of each other.
Yeah. And we were 4 years apart. Like,
right.
I don't know any 3 kids that died while we were in school.
No, not at all.
Right.
And,
okay, so there we go.
And it just touched me so much that I was like, Michelle, we have to do something here. And the good thing that the really good thing that I have is, thanks to John and, and the rock and roll and like a lot of my girls, my Paragon girls, like Sam, she introduced me to everybody, like all of the rock stars out there. So now I'm friends with them by giving them Paragon shirts and stuff. And my friend Tracy, she actually knew that I had the Paragon and she told me to do a shirt, "Fuck heroin." And I said, don't do curse words on my shirt, but I'll figure it out. So and this is where your leadership comes in.
Right.
We are taught as kids, be a leader, not a follower. That's what I was taught. And that's my message that I give Gunner.
Right.
To be a leader, to not be just in the in crowd,
Right.
not like, when we grew up, are you going to jump off a bridge if someone else does it?
Right. Yeah,
no.
The old saying.
You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, so I was like, lead, don't follow.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Angelo Ferriello from Sweet Cyanide, a band.
Right.
And he was so awesome and sweet to me. And he said, Darren, absolutely, I'm
Sweet
in.
is a good word. Thank you. That's a man word.
Right.
It's all right for us men to be sweet to each other. 100%.
He actually said, hey, I said, I have this envision of putting rock stars on my shirt. Leader, lead guitarist.
Yeah.
And then that's where I kind of came up with that,
Now I'm getting it. Yeah.
And you're a lead guitarist, leader, not a follower.
Right.
I mean, because a lot of these rock stars have had addiction problems.
Oh, yeah. Or they've been real close to it,
right.
at least.
And
have
now,
real experience.
Right. And so we went to a show, and I had a photographer take a picture of Angelo.
Right.
And if you look down,
This one.
and you'll see my 7 Deadly Sins shirt that he's rocking for me.
That's what this is.
Yeah. And that's Angelo. He was the...
Can you see it in that camera over there? Hold on, let me make sure I get it good. Can you get it good? Do you see my shirt? I gotta get this on there. Yeah, this right here. This is cool.
But...
So this is in the P right there.
Yeah. And that's a limited edition for you. So... My boy Anthony in California, he did that for me. And... we sent some shirts to Slash.
So is
and
Anthony the guy that makes the shirts?
He
Is
does
he the guy that makes the machine? You have a friend on Facebook that actually builds machines, right?
Yeah, he actually.
I'm just saying, I'm nosy.
He does. He handles all of my shirts for me, and he's amazing. We've been friends since 2008, since he did my wrist cuffs.
Right.
For Paragon.
He did my wrist cuff.
No.
The ankle bracelets came, fuzzy ankle bracelets came late.
Now they're not connected,
right? Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they got latches for when you want to.
So, so Angelo was so sweet to me, and he's like, Darren, whatever I can do. So I came up with this shirt, and
this is cool though,
right? And he was the first one to come on board, and then I reached out to Mariah Formica.
Yeah, that's my she's
girl.
I made a lot of Facebook. She's shooting. She's a rock star.
She was on The Voice.
Can you still talk to her?
Oh yeah,
I'm just kidding. I still talk. She still responds to my messages, not messages, but comments on. She's real. Yeah,
she is so amazing.
She was on. Go ahead. Sorry,
she was on The Voice.
Yeah, and she did well.
Yeah, she did. But she is blowing up, and I'm
that band of hers.
Yeah, Plush.
And y'all go look for it. Plush. You heard it here on Noodle Shit first.
If you're gonna go see them this year,
they're a real rock band. They're a real like woman rock band, like from back in the like when the '80s when we were coming up. Like man, I love it.
Hailstorm.
Yeah.
They're touring with Hailstorm and Evanescence. Yeah, Amy Lee.
You know what I'm talking about, right? That's Evanescence. It doesn't really sound like that, but sort of. Yeah. Right, Jackson? Yeah. See? So, yeah, she's big doo-doo.
Yeah. And,
good for her, though, right?
Yeah. My goal is to get Lizzie Hale on a shirt.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Is she good people?
Oh, she's amazing.
You think she cares about this country and what's happening?
Oh, absolutely.
Why wouldn't they jump on your shirt? They should be proud to jump on it.
And I'm telling you.
You're going to tell us more about it.
So, Mariah, and the reason I want to give you all the people here is because and then I reached out to Dean Kramer of Funny Money fame with Steve Whiteman from Kicks.
Right.
Dean Kramer is probably one of the best guitarists out there.
Right.
And he has this band called So Low.
Right.
And
they're going to be somewhere local. But
we'll tell you that in a second.
See, I'm keeping it. Look at me. Handling
but I always looked up to him. I did a pilot for a TV show called To the Limit.
Right.
Where I was the world's greatest athlete. And
You were.
yeah,
Okay.
I rode a bull.
It was a pilot.
I rode a bull.
Yeah. Real bull.
Yeah.
It hurt like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I play bull hockey where the humans are the humans
puck?
are the pucks.
And
yeah.
and
It's kind of like
and you ride a bull into you, like
no, like the bull, they have like the chutes,
right?
and then they let them out, and you have to lure
Guides.
a bull into a
Or goal.
hockey.
Into a goal.
Yeah, into a goal, and the first team that gets 3.
Sorry, I'm not looking at it. I'm
wins.
just putting it all together. Yeah,
Right.
well, and you volunteered, or were you
Yeah.
going to get paid for this?
I volunteered because I was like, I'm half Canadian. And
See, this is what like people don't really get it. Like, I'm not the one. I'm normally witness to this shit that goes down, but it's normally the guy to my left or right that's getting into some bull chasing or having bull chasing.
Right.
I'm not down for that.
So-
I'm too pretty for that.
And that's been so long ago, but yeah. And it was great though.
you have fun,
But that's where I met Dean Kramer.
and he's on the shirt.
And so he came on board and he's like, whatever I need to do, I will help you.
Isn't that great?
And then,
That's a real friend.
yeah, very much so. And
Because
then
most people would expect money for something like this, or
Right.
something. Yeah, I get it.
I have Scott Wilson from Saving Abel and another guy,
Another just killer guitarist, right? Yeah.
bass player, amazing.
Right.
And he jumped on board with
Mhm.
me and it was perfect. Then I have Justin Parks.
Yeah, that's the guy that I want to teach. Like, honestly, like he's come with highly referred local guy, and I guess his dad was somebody. They've started a
Rick,
music school in our town of Hagerstown.
Right.
And my 14-year-old boy who wants to learn guitar, I want him to learn from this guy.
Right.
Just because he's come so highly referred, and I can tell he's a younger to me.
Right.
But for as long as I've ever heard his name, he's been playing a guitar.
Yeah, and there's
You know what I
there's
mean?
big things coming for him. Like
Yeah.
they're getting ready to make a huge announcement
Jesus.
for him.
Good
so
for him,
he's gonna
man.
blow up, which is good.
Yeah, well, he better keep teaching guitar. That's
He
what I
was-
said. Justin Parks,
Yeah.
and like I'm deadly. So if my kid gets to be your student, you're gonna have to ride with him. But there we go. Yeah.
and deal with this guy.
Yeah, man.
Right.
The parent. No, but like that's cool.
No,
That's
but
local
yeah,
too, and anything to pump anybody like that up. we
Yeah,
should be doing.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
you. And then my friend Kelly Bell.
Oh yeah, the
Kelly Bell
Band.
Band.
Like, see,
Yeah.
another band I've played many times, and I'll go ahead and tell you one of my favorite things that they used to do is they would start their show. They'd start covering a Journey song, remember?
Yeah.
And they'd start playing it, and everybody, our age, everybody's like, yeah, and they'd scratch it. We ain't playing no damn covers,
Right.
Yeah, that. And that's another band that's been around here for 20 years. Probably.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
You and that should be and I think they've made a career of playing music, but
Oh, yeah, they're huge. They
it's hard work.
right.
I've watched them grind, and he is an entertainment. The lead singer that I guess
Kelly,
he is an
he was a
entertainer.
Yeah, he was a professional wrestler for MCW. He was, and he's just an all around great guy.
cool dude,
And,
yeah, you can just tell.
Like, and what I do is I send them an email or I text them and
Right.
say, hey, here's
I'm
what I
doing
want to
this.
do. I bought this house that was a known drug house in
Right.
our area, and and that's
And the story in
and
itself.
I tell them like what we're doing here.
Right.
All our proceeds that we do with Lead Don't Follow Foundation goes directly to the local community of wherever we're at.
Right.
So
if you have a show here, it's
Right.
this local. If you
And
have a
this'll
show
go-
in Cali, it's in Cali.
Right.
Because it is affecting everywhere.
Right. And we're going to be touring all over the U.S.
Yeah, I'm
Here.
probably gonna have to cover that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
but so anyway, I'm getting like all these people here to do these shirts.
Right.
And there's just amazing. And then I meet a character, Hugo from Tantric.
Right, yeah.
Dude, he was so nice, and he jumped on board too. He's like,
Seems
yeah,
like a common thing. Every time you introduce somebody, say they were so nice or they were sweet.
they are.
Maybe we should be that way.
Well, I mean, the thing that I like about it is these guys
The
don't
normal.
they don't ask for anything at
Right.
all. You know,
maybe your time or but nothing like money or what are you going to give me for doing it?
Right.
Yeah, and that's important. You know what I mean?
So I reached out to, if I say wabba wabba wabba, do you know what that is?
Wabba wabba wabba. What is it?
Yeah, like back in the day, there was a VJ.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't say it right. You need to say it with a British accent. Wabba wabba wabba. Motherfucking downtown Julie Brown. Yeah, I forgot. You told me you mentioned that a couple weeks ago. I was like, wabba. Yes, absolutely. The VJ. She was a video jockey.
Downtown Julie Brown. I sent her some shirts, some Paragon shirts, and she rocked it.
Yeah,
and
she's about it.
Yeah, and I sent her some Paragon shirts, and we've been friends ever since.
Right.
And I reached out to her and said, "Hey, I created this Lead Don't Follow Foundation. We're a nonprofit.
Right.
We're cleaning up communities of addiction.
Right.
And I need your help.
Right.
I want to do a radio series of shirts." And so I asked her, "Hey, would you like to be one?" So
let me interrupt you. Sorry, but radio series. So now we have these Lead Don't Follow. We have the musicians, artists, and now we have the radio. So these are like radio, video kind of celebrities. Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead.
So I reached out to Downtown Julie Brown.
Right.
And I don't know why I just have to say Downtown Julie Brown.
That's who she is. Is she anybody else? I mean,
she is an icon.
Absolutely.
I mean, Michael Jackson.
Who has Mariah Carey? Right. Everybody knows who she is.
Everybody in the music business she has spoken to.
Yeah. Face to face.
Yeah. And
not on the internet, not via Skype.
Right.
I think that's important for us to put that in there. So most of this comes from face to face meeting. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's value to that still. But go ahead.
Right.
So yeah.
So she reached out to me and she's like, "Hello, love. Whatever you want." You know? Sorry, I don't know if that's a good accent.
That's it, absolutely. I thought it was her for a second. See, look at my pants. Just kidding. No, just kidding.
But she was like, I love this, and whatever you need, I'll do a photo shoot for you. Girl,
we all want to help, Darren.
Girl did a photo shoot. I got to show you this.
Find it. But does anybody out there know of anybody that you know what I mean, that come out?
Right.
You know what I mean, that you know, it touches everybody. It affects everybody, but it's not just the heroin. It's what leads up to it. You know, the pill problem and all these things that I as one person, you as one. We all cannot touch. We have to do our little piece, and collectively it can be beaten.
Right.
I am not a hopeless person. I'm a hopeful person.
Well, and that's why I'm doing this.
Found that. Yeah.
That's why I'm doing this here. So with Julie Brown, she did a whole photo shoot for me, and so now we came up with a cool shirt. And I'm sure that Naveed will put those up on there of all those shirts.
Something we got to do, all of our stuff.
So
yeah, for sure. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, and so
if you're gonna do the work, make the work right. Make it for a reason.
And I reached out to lastly here. Well, not lastly, but I reached out to Jason Heiser, Charm City Devils drummer, Stone Horse drummer, and he's another one that said absolutely whatever
Baltimore
I can
is
do.
Like epicenter of this job, man. So
and,
that's cool that he signed aboard too. But he probably, like, each one of them probably has a story to tell, really. And they would probably take the time, if they thought it would help, to lend an ear or lend a voice to this kind of thing. And that's what's important. I, as a father, retired service member, sit at home raising boys, I have a problem with it.
Right.
The rock star in California that's popping bottles on yachts on the weekend, riding the coolest Harleys and whatever, given the chance to sit down and talk about it, has a problem with it also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the same level. So we're not, when it's a problem that you can say, okay, this group of people is who it affects. Well, let's shield that group of people. It's easy to fix. Well, guess what? You can't shield the group of people in this one because it affects so many, and it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if you're a rock star or no star. You're gonna get it if you allow it to, and if no one helps you. And it's not a battle you can fight alone. You know what I mean? And we need leaders.
Yes.
We need leaders, and we need them to continue to lead. We don't need them to retire. You know, when I sit at home and I think about, man, I've taken kids to combat. I've brought them home. That is the ultimate measure of my leadership. You can tell me what you want. Sergeant Anderson, you don't go do enough PT. Sergeant Anderson, you didn't read this manual to your soldiers. You didn't counsel them, this and that. Blasey, 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 blasey. They can say all that, but I took them to combat and brought them home.
Right.
Right? I just noodled them. I know that's noodling. You know what I mean? You just got fucking noodled, dude. Like your question's answered.
Right.
Do I need to put it on paper? You know, but I think I can continue that in my life. You know what I mean? And I've sat back for a couple of years, you know, and we all can. The things that took you to Paragon and that drove you to sit there and you know, and little things leave a mark on me. Sit there at a table, and because I sat at a merch table before. It was fun to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't my living.
Right.
It was, I get to hang out with a band and my family and just sell T-shirts and talk to people, blah, blah, blah.
And yeah, it's amazing here.
That was your living though. So that in that hustle or that suffrage blossom this.
Right.
And I think when you say, you know, the value, Paragon ain't worth shit, Darren. It's not shit without you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It is what it is. You can't sell that business tomorrow and it be worth anybody tomorrow unless you're going to sell you too. And fortunate for all of us, you're not for sale.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're doing what you do because out of love and out of passion and what moves you.
Right. Like every shirt that I did for Paragon and that I do has a meaning behind it.
Right.
Like, I'm not a company that'll just throw out
because you're a
designs
rock star.
and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Well,
every shirt has a meaning to me. This Lead Don't Follow Foundation has a meaning to me.
It has to.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. What you're doing is absolutely even just to talk about it.
Right.
If you did nothing else but sit here and talk about it, that hey, I'm a guy that went all the way to California and did all this and that and all these great things. It still affects me.
Right.
I'm a guy that went and drove trucks for 50 years and came back. It still affects me. That's what we share in common. When we talk about the tribe or the community or what's going on with our company or with our country, excuse me, I'll tell you, it goes down to the soup to nuts that, hey man, we're not communicating to where we can agree. We can't, I don't see myself in you.
Right.
You know, when I can walk down the street and see the suffrage of another man, regardless of the shape of them, the color of their skin, whatever, if I can associate their suffering to myself, then I'm a better human being. We've gotten away from that. That person is this color. Oh, it doesn't affect me. This color feels this way about a subject. It doesn't affect me. That's not the case. You know what I mean? So I think that's what I'm out here talking about because I am the living example of what you flush out of the toilet when you let anything get in the toilet, because that's what I am. I'm an Army brat. I was a soldier for 20 years.
Right.
I've lived all over the world. I come from Podunk, but I've been all over the place. I have awesome friends. I have awesome people that went out to do things. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if there's hope for me, and if I'm hopeful, because I am every day, I see the light of this world and the beauty of raising my kids and being a dad, like you said.
Yep.
If I can do that, why can't everybody else? Because everybody can. We do live in a place. I firmly believe we live in a place where the hope is not dead. The problems are their problems, but we've always had them. It's been one thing or another. You know what I mean? And I've matured in my 47 years to where I'm not letting that drive my life. You know what I mean? Regardless of what's going outside the doors, I still got time for you, Darren. I still got time to talk about this. I still got time for Lead Don't Follow. Because that's more important than everything else. You know? So that's my little side. But here we are.
Gotta love it, you know? So
you got to, man. And we're an example. You're an example to your kid. You know what I mean? If you stopped at what you were doing 10 years ago and that's all you ever did with the rest of your life, I don't think you would be happy because you wouldn't be giving him something to look at every day.
I'm never satisfied with, even like now, I want to go bigger because I have in my mind where this Lead Don't Follow Foundation goes.
It needs to be everywhere. So why it can't be so big,
and
I don't know.
That's the whole thing. Like, it's like a family affair, you know.
It's a baby. You're nursing this thing.
And you know, I have Gunner as a part of this. Michelle's like my sounding board. Gunner, next year, July 30th, we're going to be at the Ag Center.
Right. You gonna have a show?
And we're gonna have a show. We're renting that whole place out.
And we're gonna do it up. Y'all
Did I
heard
say?
it here.
Did I
You
say
said
renting?
June 30th? Yeah, we're renting it. We're renting it.
July 30th.
We're gonna rent that, fella.
July 30th.
We're renting down to the hog.
2022.
Well, the week before we just scoot all the pigs and hogs out of the way. We'll clean it up nice. How we do around here. No, but that's why wouldn't you?
Right.
You know what I mean? And my thing is, remember them letting you do it now. Because when this thing takes off, which it will, when we put the rocket boosters on it, Gunner, and it goes to the stratosphere, we're still gonna come home. You bet I'm holding you to it. Come home.
Dude,
always come home.
I'm telling
Always
you,
come
and that's where I had to start. And I'm glad you segued to this because that's where it started. Like who gave me my first opportunity in radio was Kirk McEwen.
Right.
I reached out to Kirk McEwen and. And I was like, oh, he's not going to do it. But he says, whatever you want, bro. And
he understands where you're coming from.
Every single person, everybody wants to do this.
Right.
And, and I was worried about, back in the day, I was worried, like back in Paragon, I've always been worried about girls in cages and having a great time. Mm-hmm. But now, when you meet a family who lost a loved one, their child,
right?
Just think, if you lost your child to that, I mean, I don't even want to tear up right now.
No, I'm with you.
But it's just, my heart breaks for her. And so Kirk did this right away for me, and and we're doing this radio series. Eventually, I want to do a radio series shirts.
Right.
I'm going to branch out. We're going to get more artists, like big artists. Like I'd love to have Slash, Nikki Sixx. I would love to have on a T-shirt.
Slash and Nikki Sixx.
Tommy Lee.
Them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Exactly.
Right. And the thing is I think they would probably get asked 1,000 times to be on a T-shirt,
right?
But it's the way, it's the manner at which you're going to ask and what you're going to be asking for that I think they won't have a problem answering. You know what I mean?
And let's hope so, because I think they really will come on board here.
We're trying to get away from just pressuring people to get what we want. We're going to ask nicely.
That's when I started this nonprofit organization, I don't want it to be a 1-year thing and done.
No.
And
that's already outlasted that. Almost, right? Yeah.
And it's starting to gain momentum.
Yeah.
And we finally, like, my last shirt was Kirk McEwen so far. My stepdaughter Sydney, we went to the PBR.
Right. Yeah, PBR.
Pro bull rider.
Same. Bull riding, jarhead, beer. It's all the same thing. Yeah.
And we met this guy, Dalton Castle.
Right.
Great pro bull rider. He was the rookie of the year last year.
Real athlete, though.
Yeah.
Real athlete.
And I reached out to him. Mm-hmm. And so right now, I'd like to get
an athlete series.
Yeah, we'll do an athlete series here too, because there's always leaders in everything that you do.
Like my thing is like almost like everybody I plan to have as guests is a leader in one way or the other. If I think about it, a lot of the people I'm thinking about that we've talked about guests are either a leader in their industry or they're just a leader in life. What I've always said, I've taken more lessons from people I've witnessed.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've watched good dads be good dads. I've watched, when I watched good soccer dads be good soccer dads. I've watched good soldiers be good soldiers and dads. You see what I'm saying? So dad being the key along that, you know what I mean? As long as I'm doing what I'm doing and being a good father, regardless of what I'm doing, that's key. You know what I mean? Keep that focus, you know what I mean? So that's the big thing in that.
Yeah. So, and now
it's just,
it's gonna continue to go, and if we have to do one community at a time, we're gonna clean this place up because everybody, we need to do this. And who wants to lose a loved one to careless and this?
Just for the lack of help. Like we've all made mistakes. We've all tried things we shouldn't have. We've all driven different ways. We've all did reckless things. Unfortunately, The reckless decisions that others have made in their lives have taken them down a road that none of us control. If
Right.
I was on that same road, I would be in the same shape. So who am I to judge them?
Right.
I'm no one to judge them, but I'm definitely someone that can help because I have means. I have a little bit more that it means. I don't need my money. A lot of times this is the information.
Right.
I can steer you in the right place. I have friends now that can help. Doing this, you know what I mean? Just talking about stuff.
Getting it out.
there.
Like-
you know what I mean? Like, we have got to put a stop on it. You know what? They brought them back from Afghanistan. We don't have soldiers. So, and the wars. Okay, we're trying to. We're bringing them home. Okay, what's next? Veteran suicide. Another key issue.
Right.
You know, suicide in general. I can't, and as unfortunate as it's so much going on that I have to focus on the 22 a day that just so happen to be my brothers and sisters. I would love to focus on all of it.
Right.
I have to narrow it down personally. So there's so many that heroin addiction and the epidemic that it is just one other thing, but it affects so many,
and
that
not
it's
just
worth the fight.
right.
It's
Like
a fight worth fighting.
I never knew, but like I've had family members who passed away from
Unknowing. You
addiction.
didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was so oblivious to all of it.
I still kind of am. When I rode
Right.
with the motorcycle clubs, uncles, a club brother to me, and I treated anybody that rode with me knew I was. When I called you brother, I didn't call you bro. I called you brother. It meant something. I didn't
Right.
abbreviate that word. My brothers were uncles to my kids. That's important to me. Well,
Yeah.
my kids have lost uncles to heroin. You know, one Thursday, a brother came to my house. And I noticed he had a stack of money, and he was on some stuff because he ran over my dog. Really ran over and killed my puppy that day. Killed my dog. I was okay. He handed all his money to his old lady, and they went to Baltimore. Next thing you know, next morning I wake up, his old lady is dead, OD, and he had shot himself in the head. And the day, not even 18 hours prior to that, I thought everything was cool.
Man.
I didn't know nothing.
Right.
I didn't know nothing because I promise you, if I knew where he's going for what, I'd have stopped him. I'd have done everything in my power. I'd have wrecked his car, and it had nothing to do with nothing. But that's how it affected me. And in turn, he affected me because now I have to teach a lesson to my kids that I wasn't ready to teach at that time.
Right.
I wanted to do that. It touches everybody. You know what I mean? Molly, my partner in life, lost one of her best, dearest friends to the epidemic. So it touches everybody, and those people. It is what it is. When they leave us, they don't just leave us. We have to deal with what comes after it. And why not stop it before we even get to that? We don't need to lose anybody else to it. You know what I mean? We spend money and time and effort on so many things that don't ever come to fruition. This is something where everybody can have an impact. If I know someone that's affected, I can go put my hands around their neck until they stop and keep them alive.
Yeah.
And whatever we got to do, we should be doing that. So as we get off track again, here we are to lead, don't follow. So we got to where we were at Boonesboro. Good time to take a break. Smoke a cigarette. We're going to talk about the content now.
All right.
All right.